Hi, this is Guy Baroan. You're probably wondering, what is the difference between a managed service arrangement and break fix? So I'd like to go over that today to try to clear up and make sure you understand what each one is and what the benefits of one versus the other is. With a managed service arrangement, what that means is that the company you're working with, the technology firm that you're working with, they are proactively monitoring, maintaining, patching, updating, and protecting your network environment. And the reason that they're doing that on a proactive basis is to minimize the amount of downtime that you will have or the chance that something goes wrong. See, there are a lot of hints or events or issues that occur that when they're small, they could be addressed before they become a major issue and cause downtime overall for the company. Comparing that to a break-fix arrangement, basically a break-fix arrangement means that you're working with a technology company, but when something happens, that's when you call them. There's no proactive work done. It's more of a reactive arrangement. So you're working on your computer, something stops working, you pick up the phone, and you call the technology company that you're working with. Now, the downside to this is that at that time when you call them, they may not be ready for you. They may be on another call. They may not be in the office, and you may have to wait a longer time period for somebody to give you a call back. Some of the other downsides to a break-fix arrangement is that typically, because no work has been done on the system that is causing an issue, or your network or your environment in general, it will most of the time take a much longer time period to try to identify what the issue is. Because if there's no visibility into the network for a few months or even a few years, things change. And so they may not have proper documentation. And so in general, when somebody's trying to troubleshoot or work in a break-fix arrangement, the typical time to recover is a much longer time period. Now, on top of that, in the event that it is not just isolated and only one user is having an issue, if it's something related to the business, then there's also a higher likelihood that the whole company will not be able to function. And so in general, when you're comparing a break-fix arrangement to a managed service arrangement, the managed service is proactive, the break-fix is reactive. The managed service arrangement typically has more of a fixed, known monthly cost. The break-fix will have only a cost when something goes wrong, or sometimes you'll find companies offering a block of hours that you'll then be able to use up or work through. Now, what we find is with the managed service clients that we work with, we typically have a much better experience. The downtime is very minimal, and overall, when companies are having a review meeting, they indicate that everything is functioning, they don't really have any issues, and in general, we find that those companies seem to be doing much better as far as their sales and the way that they work and the employee satisfaction overall, and a very low level of frustration with their people. On the flip side, when you have a break-fix arrangement, a lot of times what happens is the clients may not have the users that are that happy because maybe they're working on systems that progressively become slower and are only really addressed when something goes wrong. On top of that, if there is an issue and they're working with their provider, what typically happens is they may have a much higher cost to recover as compared to if they just did it on a monthly basis with a managed service agreement. They might have a better experience. So overall, comparing managed service to break-fix, the main difference is one is proactive with more of a known fixed cost compared to one being reactive with a lower upfront cost, but typically we find higher overall ongoing costs. And typically when somebody contacts us, if it was a break-fix scenario, it's always an emergency. Nothing is ever, get to me when you can. It's always an emergency. And so for that reason, many companies don't really like to work in a break-fix arrangement with companies. So leading technology companies in general, you're finding less and less are open to working with organizations in a reactive mode because they simply can't staff and they cannot react quick enough. And then when they do react and they get there, it's never quick enough to get the issue resolved because of all the underlying items that may have changed and all the work that needs to go into truly understanding why the network or the system is not functioning the way it needs to. So in our opinion, if you can afford it, the best plan would be a proactive managed service arrangement compared to a break-fix arrangement.